Welcome back into Steelers Latest, your daily spot for all news and information related to your Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content to stay up to date with all news about your Steelers. But the schedule has been released today, so let's dive right into that as it's looking again like the back half of next year is going to be pretty brutal. We ended on a 5-game losing streak. This past year seems like we could be on the same path next year, maybe even worse. But let's break it all down. Week 1, open up in MetLife against the Jets, against our former quarterback now, Justin Fields. I think this should be an easy way to get the season off. I do think the first part of the season is where we're going to have to perform really well to kind of get ahead of the back half before it comes. And I think we do that with a win to start off the season in MetLife Stadium against the Jets. I don't think they have too much going on. Their defense might be able to put a halt to our offense, but I think a lot of defenses are going to put a halt to our offense once again this year. But I think we're able to overpower them, probably 2017 type game. The next one, at home, week 2, first game in Acrisure Stadium, home opener against the Seahawks. Them coming all the way from the West Coast. I'm gonna pick the Steelers in this one. This is very early for me to be given my season projections for the Steelers, but let's give them anyways. Then we're going back up north once again, away for the Patriots in New England. I think that's a dub also. Then week 4, our overseas game in Dublin, Ireland against the Vikings. Uh, the Vikings have to come a little bit farther away. I think it throws them off time zone wise a little bit more than the Steelers, so I'm gonna give the Steelers the win there. Started 4-0, sounds real good. We did our bye week early at week 5. Not a big fan of that. Usually like my bye weeks to split up the season around week 8, 9, or 10, or even in the later half of the season. Having it early means you're going to be playing a lot of games late. No break at all for the next 14 weeks. It's just going to be all guns. No breaks, really. But returning home against the Browns, week 6, easy dub. 5-0 start to the season. Oh my goodness. The Steelers, we're going to the Super Bowl. Everyone's on board, right? Well, this is where it all kind of turns here. Away with the Bengals on Thursday night football in week 7. Probably going to have to give us the L there. Bengals and Joe Burrow. Their offense, I think, is a little too powerful for our defense to be able to hold, while our offense is not going to be able to get in too many shootouts. And with a team like the Bengals, you can expect shootouts. The Packers at home on Sunday Night Football the following week. Once again, probably going to have to give us an L here. Packers just a more well-rounded team than us right now. They don't have question marks at the quarterback position while we do. That's really why I'm leaning Packers here. Week 9 against the Colts now. This is where we get back to our winning ways, I believe. We catch a dub against the Colts. They don't really have too strong of a roster right now, so I think that's where we'll pick up another win. Puts us at, I believe, 6-2 entering the back half of the season, and this is where it gets really dreadful. Away versus the Chargers, L. Sunday Night Football, catching an L there. I don't really. So we're 0-3 on primetime games to start the season. That's brutal. Not even to start the season, by the halfway point. Um, yeah, just the Chargers. I think they're going to be able to pound it. They're going to try to maintain possession all game long. They're going to pound the rock. They're going to keep the ball away from our offense. If our defense can force turnovers, I wouldn't be surprised if we beat the Chargers this year like we did last year. But I think the teams are fairly even, and the Chargers will be able to sneak this one out. Home against the Bengals. I'm going to give us the dub here because we've been splitting the series, it feels like, as the previous couple years with the Bengals. So I thought I'd just give us a win over the Bengals here. I don't really have any other reason besides that. I think the Bengals probably are a better roster or just have a better leader at the quarterback room than us. But I think our roster overall, our defense will be able to lead us to a win over the Bengals there. Away versus the Bears. The Bears are now in week 12. The Bears I think are going to be a really good team next year. They showed flashes at the end of last year, went on a really long winning streak, I think, at the end of last year, and I think that will continue into this season. Caleb Williams, he's, I think, proven he's going to be the next guy up, the next face of the NFL, probably for years to come with the Bears. So I think the Bears beat us there. Home against the Bills. Don't see us winning that in week 13. Away against the Ravens in week 14. Don't see us going into M&T Bank and winning. Uh, then return home in week 15 against the Dolphins for Monday Night Football. This, I will give us the win. I'll give us a win over the Dolphins. I think they kind of fall apart later in the year, so I think the Steelers will pull that one off. Week 16 away against the Lions, that's an L. Week 17 away against the Browns, that's a dub, I would say. It's the Browns. That's all I have to say. And home against the Ravens to end the year again. Gonna give us an L there in week 18. That rounds out to 9-8, as I said. But we'll start off 5-0, and then it will slowly fade away once again, as it has the past couple years. That's what I am seeing right now. Let me know in the comment section what you all believe will happen this upcoming season after seeing the schedule. If you believe the Steelers can get off to that hot start and propel us to a playoff appearance to weather the storm in the back half of the season, or if you just think the Steelers will perform marginally better than I do. Let me know in the comments section. But moving on, just a quick little Rodgers update. This is now the window we've been warned about, as people have been speculating. Many people have speculated for the past couple weeks that between the schedule release, which happened earlier today, and OTAs, which start on the 27th, Aaron Rodgers will make his decision. So just putting it out there. Stay up to date. Stay looking on your phones. Make sure ESPN updates. You have that notification button hit so you get the notification when Rodgers signs. But this is the window. We are suspecting Rodgers to sign for the Steelers. Uh, Hopefully, we're not wrong here. Hopefully, in the next 13 days, we see some action from Rodgers, and hopefully, he becomes a Pittsburgh Steeler. But moving on, yesterday we started the breakdown of all the different position groups. Today, we're moving on to the offensive and defensive fronts. Let's take a look at the O-line room first. Starting off with the interior offensive line. This is the best part of our offensive line. Zach Frazier, PFF graded him 76.8 was his grade. This was sixth best in the NFL out of all centers in the league, and he should develop more. He only had 5 flags and 1 sack allowed all of last season. Frazier was, I think he established that he's going to be the man snapping the ball for years to come in Pittsburgh. So I'm excited to see how Frazier develops. Mason McCormick, his other second-year player next to him, he ranked below average last year in total, but once again, second-year player. We should expect development. He was slightly below average. Hopefully this year he ends up being a slightly above average player, and you can see the progression throughout his career. He only gave up 2 sacks all of last year, though, from right guard, and he only had 2 flags on him all season long, also. So I think Mason McCormick and Zach Frazier are a good young core in the middle of the offensive line. Up next, our left guard, Isaac Samalo. This is our veteran on that offensive front. He traded above average last year. He's definitely one of the best run blockers on this offensive front. He gets downfield and cleans up the second level blocks. I love watching Isaac Samala get to that next level. You know someone's getting pancaked. That's when he gets downfield. But last year he had 2 sacks, 5 flags on him. Not too many penalties, not too many sacks allowed. So we'd like to see that from our interior. No one from our interior last year gave up more than 2 sacks. So I believe it should continue to progress and get only better for our offensive front. Now the question marks on the offensive front, our tackle position. Right tackle Troy Fatanu. We only saw 55 snaps from him last year. But in those 55 snaps, he graded out to be an average tackle in the NFL, which is pretty solid. Second year, though, this is where we could see technically his second year, more like a rookie season, though, an extended rookie season with his 55 snaps last year and dealing with injury. But we should see the development of Fatanu. He was one of our premier draft picks last year, and he's supposed to be really solid tackle to this franchise. So hopefully we see the development from him. And now biggest question mark and our worst offensive lineman starter is left tackle Broderick Jones, who was the lowest rated lineman on the team all of last year. You had 10 flags against him, 10 sacks. This could be Broderick Jones' last chance with the team this season. Could see him getting shifted out of the left tackle position halfway through the year, a quarter of the way through the year, pretty early, honestly, just because the left tackle position is blindside blocker. We watched the blind side from the Michael Orr story. You need that left tackle to protect your quarterback, or else you have a Joe Theismann type thing happen to you. So I could see Broderick Jones being subbed out as soon as the season starts. Honestly, he has never really proven his the hype coming out of college. So that is the offensive lineman room. I think it's pretty solid. Hopefully, it's a young core. Hopefully, we see the development. Hopefully, it gets better than where it's been the previous couple years. But let's move on to the other side of the ball, where we talk about the defensive lineman. Right end, the veteran, the man the man that steadies the ship, basically. Cam Hayward, as solid and steady as it gets. 71 tackles, 8 sacks last year, 11 pass defenses was a career high. I think Cam Hayward still has tread on the tires. I don't think he's going to fall off just because of the way he plays. He's not the most physically, athletically gifted person, but he's a grinder, and he'll continue to grind throughout the rest of his career. I think he's gonna be a great mentor to some of the younger guys we get to talk about here soon. But he is, of course, gonna be the star on the defensive line. Nose tackle Keanu Benton. He's entering his third season. He's been more of a rotational piece his entire career so far here in Pittsburgh. But with the loss of Larry Ogunjobi, he's now gonna have a premier nose tackle role. He had 36 tackles last year, 1 sack, 1 INT, and 6 pass defenses. So our defensive line gets their hands up very well, is what we've learned from Cam Hayward and Keanu Benson. That's a combined 18 or 17 pass defenses in just those 2 players. So I'm excited to watch tip drill be activated all next season long with our D line getting their hands up. And finish it off, left end, Derek Harmon. This should be the next mainstay to this defense. He's the next Cam Hayward. He's going to be learning under Cam Hayward. He was a factor in both the run and pass game in Oregon all of last year. I'm excited to see what Derek Harmon does as a pro. He should have an immediate impact on this team. And some depth at the defensive line position. You got Isaiah Loudermilk and Daniel Quale. Both of them have been consistent rotational pieces throughout their career. They're nothing special, of course, but if someone goes down, they are more than able to fill in for a limited amount of time. And then you got the other rookie, Yaya Black. He's going to be another threat in the run game. You should see more of him in goal line positions. You're going to see more of him in third and shorts. You're going to see a lot of him. He's just a massive body to put in the middle of the field. He also, as we mentioned, has the 2 sledgehammers for hands as pop out of his hands are best reportedly out of anyone on the team, just based on what we heard about him from rookie minicamp. But that has been Steelers' latest. I've been your host, Cole Denis, and I will see you tomorrow.